Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Opening editor of Evil God template, becoming a dark giant in the dangerous world where evil gods spread chaos and ancient taboos were revived from the river of time, Fang Yu became a dark sorcerer with his own abilities. Just as he was about to ascend to the top of the throne, he was unexpectedly reborn and became a template editor. Being able to extract all things in the world and transform them into templates, and integrate them to obtain abilities, creating a Blood World Martial King template at the beginning. Twilight World Tree, plus, Blazing Angel Ruins, plus, Disaster Messenger, equals Doomsday God, sound the horn of destruction, the universe is shattered. Soul Devourer plus Dark Star Titan plus World I equals All Realms Devourer, devouring the heavens and all realms, melting the endless void. Chaos Alchemist plus Gate of Truth equals Lord of Truth. Using the world as the material and laws as the furnace, refine the supernatural potion. When the Infinite Dragon God, Shadow Lord, Blood Emperor, Crimson King, Destiny Observer. Countless templates were born in his hands, becoming shadows that enveloped the world, even evil gods trembled for it. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Forbidden Magic Scriptures, Dark Warlocks. New. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As night falls, devouring the radiance of the stars, the world falls into darkness. In an ordinary residential building in Hangzhou, a hoarse but slightly magnetic voice can be heard. I'm reborn. A handsome young man with black hair woke up, and a hint of surprise flashed through his cold black pupils. Even with his nature, he didn't react to it. His name is Fang Yu, and he is a traveler from the Blue Star who has come to this world where evil gods peep and countless monsters roam the earth. Although the cultural backgrounds of the two worlds are somewhat similar to their past lives, and the technology in this world is relatively advanced, there are still a large number of monsters and the claws of evil gods. No one knows the origin of monsters, only that they have existed since ancient times, occupying the sky, ocean, and earth. The monsters possess powerful powers that are difficult for humans to reach, and some of them can even come into contact with mythical powers. In ancient times, cruel monsters devoured human flesh and soul, occupying human living space and gradually forcing the human race towards extinction. In addition, there are ancient and powerful evil gods eager to erode the world, sending their families to spread chaos and fear, thus giving birth to a large number of cults that believe in evil gods. The world was once plunged into despair. Fortunately, there is no such thing as a never-ending path. The first human, also known as the legendary ancestor, awakened extraordinary power and passed it on to his companions, opening up the path of the human race's transcendence. Since then, countless human ancestors have risen up, mastering extraordinary powers to expel monsters and establish the first human city-state. The establishment of a city-state was like a spark starting a prairie fire. A large number of cities were built, quickly occupying the land, expelling monsters, and giving ordinary humans the opportunity to reproduce and even occupy the land. Since then, cities have become the safe haven for most humans. As long as they stay in the city, they will not encounter too much danger, and human technology has also begun to develop. The era of the rise of darkness was known as the era of firewood, and after the rise of humanity, the era changed several times, all the way to the era where Fang Yu lived. Dawn Era. As a traveler, Fang Yu did not have any golden fingers or so-called top talents. Even without any family background, parents are just ordinary adventurers who have long passed away due to an adventure accident, leaving only a house and some compensation. It's just a template for an ordinary person. If that's all, then Fang Yu can also tolerate it. After all, in his past life, he was able to start from an orphanage and earn millions of assets, naturally possessing psychological qualities and abilities beyond ordinary people. If you learn some behavior patterns of the protagonist who goes against the Tao, coupled with not touching some strange rituals, mysterious objects, and so on, it is not impossible to achieve the final outcome. However, what he never expected was that he unexpectedly stumbled into a transaction with a dark organization, leading to being chased. Although he killed several thugs with a trap, Fang Yu was also forced to leave Hangzhou and embark on the road of leaving his hometown. Living with small hearts and wings in the wilderness. Surviving in the Death Demon City. Fighting against powerful dark forces. Dodging the aftermath of a major disaster, countless painful memories intertwined in his mind, and in the end, he, by chance, obtained a magic book that originated from ancient times, written by a mysterious dark sorcerer after trading with an evil god. A treasure that records taboo knowledge. Although the magic scripture had been damaged over a long period of time and most of its contents were lost by the time he obtained it, there were still a few strange rituals and spells left, which allowed Fang Yu to rise up and master true extraordinary power. However, the good times did not last long. Just as he was preparing to draw a special secret ritual and obtain stronger power for revenge, he unexpectedly summoned a mysterious evil god. Just a glimmer of power descended, and the entire city he was in was wiped out in an instant, countless lives turned into powder. But what Fang Yu didn't expect was that not only did he not die, but he was also reborn until everything had not happened yet. I seem to have seen countless bubbles emitting billions of radiance. As if countless worlds are gathered together. This image. Which evil god is it? In addition to being fortunate, Fang Yuqing's heart also flashed with a hint of doubt. In his mind, he discovered the blurry phantom of that great existence, but could not see its true form clearly. However, it seems that he has never seen or heard of the image of this evil god before. Is it a past life or not? But soon, Fang Yu restrained the idea of continuing to think. The knowledge in the encyclopedia told him that those great beings cannot be directly viewed, and everything related to them is taboo. Even recalling their images can easily lead to terrifying spiritual pollution, distorting one's own rationality and body. At least before Fang Yu becomes a strong person, it is best not to come into contact with things related to evil gods. But since they have been reborn, we should also repay them well. Fang Yu's gaze gradually calmed down, with a cold murderous intent flickering in his eyes. Although so many things happened before rebirth, in reality, the time span has only passed 3 years. In 3 years, I went from being an ordinary person to becoming a dark sorcerer that scared countless people. Among them, there have been major events such as the invasion of the Dark Tree Kingdom, the revival of taboos, the disaster of the heavenly sky, and the void. Only Fang Yu himself knows how much suffering has been endured and how much cost has been paid. And the root of all of this is just because I witnessed the transaction of that mysterious organization that time. Before his rebirth, Fang Yu was preparing to seek revenge, but it was delayed due to the ceremony. But now that he has been reborn, he also wants to let the other party taste the ultimate pain. Fang Yu glanced at the time, July 21st, 2:30 p.m. That is to say, the transaction will take place tonight on a remote street in the northern district of Hangzhou. At that time, I happened to get off the bus at the wrong station and accidentally hit that side, which led to the subsequent disaster. Since the other party is pursuing them like this, it indicates that the item in that transaction is very important, possibly a treasure, perhaps a strange, divine, or even a legendary world treasure. Thinking of the major events that occurred in Hangzhou in his past life, Fang Yu had some vague speculations in his heart. Although time is a bit tight, it's okay. Even though he is still an ordinary person, those 3 years of experience have given Fang Yu a sense of confidence. And the source of confidence is strength. Although the magic scripture is still buried in that place, most of the rituals and knowledge have been memorized by me. If you want to quickly gain power, you can use the rituals in the Demon Slaying and Ghost Restriction book to create some corpse demons and ghost drives. Spiritual plague is also a good means. Even curses are good. Fang Yu pondered in his mind and began to construct some ceremonial patterns, thinking about which one would be more suitable. However, just as he was pondering, a cold mechanical voice rang in his ear. Successfully born the 2-star template Dark Warlock, incomplete, links to the highest source, becoming a template editor. P.S. New books for collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Chapter 2. Transform into the Supreme Demon God, Template Editor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Template Editor. Has the golden finger been credited to the account? Fang Yu frowned, not in a hurry to get excited, but calmly searched around to ensure that he was not facing the illusion. After all, there are too many pitfalls in this world, perhaps it's some ancient bait layout, or perhaps supernatural beings are causing trouble. So it's still important to be cautious. After confirming that there was no breath from anyone, he tentatively said. Are you? A mysterious and cold mechanical voice sounded. Host, have you opened the beginner's treasure chest? I didn't expect my golden finger to actually come. Fang Yu sighed and then nodded, saying. Open it. As the words fell, the world before Fang Yu began to change, engulfed by endless chaos. And he also entered a strange state, as if he had transformed into an omniscient and omnipotent supreme deity. As my gaze approached, the entire chaos began to become chaotic. Countless evolution of earth, fire and feng shui, including countless worlds of birth and death. With just one thought, you can manipulate the endless world and countless dimensions. Ding! Just as Fang Yu was lost in feeling this powerful force, a flickering black treasure chest floated in front of him like a shooting star. Fang Yu felt something and casually reached out his finger to gently tap on the treasure chest. Pop! The treasure box instantly shattered and turned into 3 different colored light clusters. An eyeball burning with black flames, a blood-colored figure, and a golden wing. The ultimate source. Fang Yu was lost in thought, and a mysterious voice rang out once again. Randomly extracted 3 template fragments from the heavens and realms, the host can merge different fragments to create your first exclusive template. The strength of a template is entirely determined by your editors, and you can acquire the abilities that templates possess, becoming the power you master. You are the supreme existence that creates infinite possibilities. Edit template. Listening to the other party's description, Fang Yu has roughly understood some information. This mysterious voice is a reflection of his innate abilities that he has traveled through time, similar to the systems, artifacts, and so on in some novels. It is just a pronoun and does not have his own will. Therefore, calling it a system or a root cause is the same. It can connect Fang Yu to the mysterious ultimate source and transform into the ultimate demon god in the chaotic world. And the specific ability is to enable Fang Yu to extract templates from everything in the world, and to edit, merge, and even upgrade them. By integrating templates, one can gain powerful power and knowledge within them. And this time, he was able to link to the root precisely because he successfully learned most of the knowledge in the magic book and became a dark sorcerer, even if it was incomplete, but he also met the minimum requirements. If we use the root, it is a collection of fragments of the Dark Warlock template. But ultimately, I have completed the beginner task. This task is really beyond the reach of ordinary people. Fang Yu sighed and said, if it weren't for his chance to obtain the magic scripture, wouldn't he be unable to link to the highest source for a lifetime? However, Fang Yu seemed to have thought of something and coldly asked. My rebirth is related to you. Originally, Fang Yu thought it was the ancient existence of countless billions of brilliant bubbles that influence time and space, but now it seems that his background is also very hard. However, the root only answers with mechanical sound. Please unlock higher permissions from the host. Interesting. Fang Yu's mouth curved upwards, revealing a playful smile, without doubting the other person or saying it was unnecessary. After all, with sufficient permissions, all the truth will naturally be known, and there is no need to worry. Moreover, what people are most afraid of is not being used, but not even having any value for use. The most important thing now is to first master stronger power through the power of the system. So Fang Yu began to examine the 3 light clusters in front of him. Abyssal Eye, 2-star template. Originating from the ancient race of the Abyss, it is an ordinary abyssal eye that was accidentally killed by other abyssal monsters in a major battle. The Eye of the Abyss possesses powerful power, able to parasitize within the souls of living beings, devour their souls, and wield powerful spiritual power, able to petrify enemies and have a powerful deterrent over all living beings, to devour the flesh and blood of living beings for growth. Note: the stronger the strength, the lower the chance of petrification, which can cause effects such as delay in mental shock, evaluation. Abyss of alien races, once fused with templates, there is a chance that their eyes will undergo mutations. Mutation. This doesn't quite meet my requirements. Fang Yu's gaze was indifferent. Although he longed for power, he did not want to become a monster or a monster. He is controlling power, not becoming a slave to power. He wants to maintain his absolute ID, anchoring self-rationality with the human body. So Fang Yu continued to look at the other two template fragments. Blood and Meat Demon, 3-star template. Originating from a martial arts world eroded by evil gods, the path of warriors is polluted by the power of evil gods, and the whole world is plunged into madness. Countless people actively block the path of martial arts. As a martial arts master of his generation, in order to further his understanding of the ultimate path of martial arts, he actively absorbed the pollution of evil gods, elevated his martial arts skills, and mastered the flesh and blood martial arts. Subsequently, he was contaminated by the nonsense of evil gods and transformed into a flesh and blood demon, slaughtering his once cherished loved ones and loved ones. In the end, he went crazy, broke through the unknown realm, and exterminated the entire martial arts civilization. Evaluation. Ultimate mastery of flesh and blood. I have sacrificed everything for the sake of martial arts, worthy of the name of my master, but I have done wrong to my family. Fang Yu sighed and then looked at the third template fragment, a golden wing. Holy Light Angel, 4-star template. Originating from a special life in the ancient celestial realm, born with faith and holy light as raw materials, skilled in cultivating extraordinary plants, possessing devout faith, innate pharmacological harmony, and strong affinity for holy light, with a high status. However, due to accidentally touching the root secrets of heaven, the faith collapsed and he died unexpectedly. Evaluation. Fusion can master the power of the holy light. A 4-star template, and it's also a legendary life like an angel. Fang Yu was somewhat surprised, not expecting that the template for angels also existed. However, in just an instant of surprise, Fang Yu had already understood the information of the three templates and finally set his gaze on the template he had created. Dark Warlock, 2-star template. Originating from the knowledge obtained by the host from the incomplete ancient magic scripture, successfully mastering the spells and rituals of darkness, able to spread darkness and fear. Comment. If you can improve the incomplete parts of the magic book, there may be unexpected gains. Improve the magic code. Fang Yu squinted his eyes and thought of the ancient magic scriptures he had obtained in his past life. Only a small fraction of them gave him powerful power. If it can be improved, it is also a huge supplement to oneself, perhaps reaching 4 or even 5 stars. And with the existence of a system, Fang Yu may even master the power related to evil gods in the future, and even obtain templates at the level of evil gods, master the power of a deity. There are really infinite possibilities. Fang Yu suppressed his excited emotions and looked at the boundless chaos in front of him. He already had the idea of editing templates in his heart. So he said indifferently. Turn on editing mode. Chapter 3. Creator Mode, the birth of the first template. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. In the chaotic world, endless chaotic currents began to surge, as if an ancient demon god was about to open up the world, and the terrifying power spread. Even a tiny bit of power is enough to easily annihilate one world after another. However, this terrifying force appeared incredibly weak in front of Fang Yu, who had transformed into the supreme deity. His one thought could trigger even more terrifying disasters. He is the source of all calamity. The past, present, and future are forever unique. It's really a power that can easily intoxicate people, but I have more important things to do. Although Fang Yu was somewhat reluctant to part with this massive force, he remained particularly calm and had already planned his future actions. And immerse yourself in the illusory power, it's better to improve your own strength first. Let's get started. Fang Yu's mind was stirred, and the template of the blood and meat demon floated in front of him. The aura of blood and flesh spread, as if one could see a demon with terrifying power attempting to slaughter the world. Unfortunately, although its power is powerful, it is as insignificant as ants in front of the supreme deity incarnated by Fang Yu, and a single thought can suppress it. Since you want to edit a powerful template, you naturally need him as a template editor to edit and match. And Fang Yu has already had a plan. That is to use the 3-star template of Blood and Meat Demon as the core, combined with 2 modules. Dark Warlock and Abyssal for editing. As for why the core is based on the Blood and Meat Demon, it's just because the template for the Dark Warlock is too incomplete and needs to be strengthened by improving the magic book. And in his past life, Fang Yu also felt the weakness of the Dark Warlock, which was that his body was too weak, and once he was close, he was easily killed. However, Abyssal is prone to alienation and is not suitable for his long-term development plan in the human hinterland. Only the Blood and Meat Demon, who uses martial arts to connect with the gods, can meet his requirements. As for the Holy Angel, although it is a 4-star template, its inherent power of the Holy Light conflicts with the ultimate darkness. Although Fang Yu could forcefully merge light and dark through his incarnation as the supreme deity, he did not want to do so. One reason is that the other 3 templates combined may not necessarily match the Holy Angel, which can easily cause several powers to lose balance. Secondly, there is a 4-star template that can be edited to a stronger level. There is no need to go through a hodgepodge, it's just a waste of this precious template. Stay in your hands, and when you collect better templates in the future, you may even be able to edit templates for 6-winged flame angel, light lord, fallen god, and so on. Truly wielding supreme authority. Fang Yu pondered in his heart, and countless thoughts passed in an instant. His gaze turned to the template of the Blood and Meat Demon. One of the blood-colored figures inflated their aura, and countless terrifying flesh and blood began to spread, as if expanding into a bloody realm, with an endless sea of blood surging. The Dark Warlock, on the other hand, is a young man with black hair holding a dark magic scripture and wearing a long robe. His appearance is somewhat similar to that of Fang Yu, sitting on a throne condensed with blood. As for the Eye of the Abyss, which has the least sense of existence, it is a huge and beautiful eyeball, emitting a terrifying aura. Bang bang. Accompanied by 2 explosive sounds, the templates of Dark Warlock and Abyssal instantly shattered, transforming into 2 beams of light and sinking into the bloody figure. Boom! The chaotic airflow began to surge, countless worlds were born and died. The blood-colored figure began to distort and merge with the other 2 templates. The 3 radiances of blood, black, and purple began to converge, gradually merging under the guidance of Fang Yu. The original flesh and blood aura was extremely crazy because it was contaminated with the power of a mysterious evil god. However, under the contact of the power of the Dark Warlock, the aura of another evil god poured in, and the 2 began to collide. The evil aura behind the Dark Sorcerer suppressed this crazy power in an instant. Is the gap so big? Fang Yu witnessed everything and said thoughtfully, then smiled. No matter what the outcome is, he is the ultimate winner. Soon, absolute rationality began to replace madness. Accompanied by a deep red glow shining in the chaotic world, a brand new figure appeared in front of Fang Yu. That was a figure dressed in deep red armor, with a face 7 times similar to Fang Yu's. The muscles on his body were twisted, yet he did not lose his beauty. Every inch of flesh and blood seemed to contain infinite power. The original magic scripture has disappeared and transformed into countless eerie spells flickering in the void around the body, then merging into the pupils. Countless spells flow around, containing endless mystery. To Fang Yu's surprise, the abyssal eye, which he had originally thought had little presence, actually integrated into the heart of the template figure. It actually integrates with the heart, transporting a huge amount of power to the whole body with every beat, and constantly growing, emitting the ultimate deterrent power. And it seems that the appearance has also undergone a transformation, from a large purple eyeball to a red nebula-like life. In that nebula, dozens of eyeballs were opening and closing, emitting endless malice. If an ordinary person saw it, they would have to go crazy and be scared to death. However, such a change is a good thing for Fang Yu. After all, the fusion of the abyss eye and the eye can easily cause mutations. On the contrary, the curse eye is not only safe, but also more powerful. Therefore, the eye of the abyss retreated and integrated into the heart, becoming a pet-like existence. But this pet is absolutely loyal. The combination of these three templates not only does not weaken their own capabilities, but also combines all the advantages and transforms into a perfect template. This new template figure, based on chaos and relying on the throne condensed with blood, seems to have become the center of the world, which cannot be ignored. If the previous blood and meat demon was a bloodthirsty demon sword, then what is in front of us is a holy sword that suppresses the sun, moon, and stars. The previous martial arts madman has completely transformed into a martial arts saint. Is this my first template, eerie and powerful? Fang Yu said thoughtfully, and a warning tone rang in his ear. Ding! Congratulations to the host for editing the 3-star template. Blood World Martial King. Chapter 4. Blood World Martial King, Curse Eye. Seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Blood World Martial King, 3-star. A powerful template derived from the fusion of three templates. Dark Warlock, Abyssal Eye, and Blood and Meat Demon. Mastering dark spells, possessing ultimate martial arts skills and blood and flesh control, the Abyssal Eye undergoes a transformation after fusing the breath of two evil gods, evolving into the Deep Red Eye template skill. Pupil of Spells, derived from the knowledge of Dark Sorcerer's magic scriptures, which transforms a large number of spells and dark spells into spells and integrates them into the eyes, instantly casting spells. And it can suppress crazy emotions, manipulate dark spells, and as the knowledge of magic scriptures improves, it can continue to evolve and obtain unexpected powers. Deep Red Eye, a product of the evolution of ancient abyssal races under the stimulation of flesh and dark spells. It can appear as a summoner, plunder vitality to feed back its host, continuously strengthen its heart and deter lower-level creatures. A large amount of flesh and blood can cause it to evolve. The King of Blood and Flesh, mastering the martial arts skills of the blood and flesh demon and possessing the ultimate ability to control blood and flesh, it is a special heritage of the martial arts world with infinite evolutionary possibilities. Blood Realm Contract, unlocked, able to turn blood into a contract and use the Deep Red Eye as a medium to sign an eternal servant contract. Once signed, it will gain powerful power, and the betrayer will be devoured by the Blood Realm's flesh and soul. Blood Emperor, unlocked, originating from a trace of the blood and flesh evil god's aura, can transform into the form of Blood Emperor, and its strength will be greatly enhanced. The side effect is to consume a large amount of blood and vitality. Blood Realm Descent, unlocked, ancient shattered world, although already incomplete and shattered, still loves the life born in the world, thus giving the last blessing, transforming some fragments into a special blood realm. Evaluation. Excellent, Samsung Excellent Level Template. Blood World Martial King. Fang Yu heard the prompt sound of root consciousness and looked at the ability described in it, his eyes flashing with a hint of shock. It's not that the template is too weak, but it's too strong. Strong has some bugs. You should know that template editing has a total of 5 levels, which are normal, good, excellent, perfect, and supreme. The higher the evaluation of the template, the stronger its potential and the stronger its capabilities. And the Blood World Martial King almost covers all the advantages of the three templates. Blood and Meat Demon, Dark Warlock, and Abyssal Eye, and also eliminates the drawbacks of Blood and Meat Demon's madness. It can be said that this is a perfect template. Even Fang Yu had a feeling that if he could master the incomplete knowledge of the magic code, the template of the Blood World Martial King would likely be upgraded to 4 or even 5 stars. It is not impossible to become a perfect evaluation template at that time. It can be said that this editing alone is completely comparable to the efforts of Yasuji Yuzan for a year, and even far beyond it. Although there are still a few skills that have not been unlocked, Fang Yu has already learned from the system that as long as the template is fused and the ability to continuously master the template is improved, the fusion will be automatically unlocked. The template for integrating system editing is not simply crammed in, but more like slowly mastering this power. The level of template integration is sufficient, and naturally these abilities are mastered. Fang Yu is not averse to this, and even somewhat agrees. Because he controls power, not becomes a slave to power. And when Fang Yu was pleasantly surprised, a cold mechanical voice rang out in his ear once again. Ding! Congratulations to the host for editing an excellent level template for the first time, completing the achievement of Excellent Editor, and receiving a reward of +1 permission. Choose to unlock a skill in advance, with a preliminary integration rate of 30%. If the template fusion degree reaches 100%, you will receive a treasure chest reward and draw new templates from various heavens and worlds. Surprisingly, it can increase permissions and unlock an ability in advance, fully integrating with treasure chest rewards. Fang Yu was also pleasantly surprised to hear this, as having an additional ability would also be helpful for him to integrate templates. Moreover, the higher the evaluation of the template, the higher the initial fusion degree. The excellent level can reach 30%, so the perfect level and advanced level can reach 70%, 80%, or even directly integrate to 100%, gaining powerful power. I also don't know if it is possible to perform a second editing in advance to become a more powerful template after 100% template fusion. Fang Yu's thoughts spun and he didn't hesitate too much. He quickly made a decision and said to the system. I choose to unlock the Blood World contract. Fang Yu's voice echoed in the chaotic void, and on the panel in front of him, the originally grey Blood Realm contract lit up, shimmering with eerie blood-colored radiance. The reason why he did not choose Blood Realm and Blood Emperor is simply because the strength of the Morning Star level is already sufficient, and simple killing skills do not have much effect on him. After fusing the templates, you only need to merge them step by step and they will be unlocked one by one, but the specific time required is uncertain. As Fang Yu, who has been reborn and returned, naturally knows how many major events will occur in the next 3 years. That is the prelude to what is known as the New Golden Age. The ancient existence has revived from the depths of time. The world pattern has changed. Countless powerful people have risen. Numerous opportunities and many world secrets, and so on. However, most of them were just stories and rumors heard by Fang Yu, and even the information was incomplete, with only rough locations and characters. If he were to search for it alone, it would not only require a lot of time and energy, but it could also end up being nothing. Therefore, Fang Yu felt that he needed to master an organization that was absolutely loyal to him, hiding in the darkness, spreading countless tentacles, controlling the entire world, and collecting all information and resources for him. Moreover, as a dark sorcerer, it would be best to build a mystical laboratory for him to study, as it would be a true gold-swallowing beast. Originally, Fang Yu intended to use the costly dark spell rituals in the magic scripture, but the side effects were obvious and could easily cause backfire, leading to leakage of secrets and insufficient concealment. But now that there is a more complete and convenient blood contract, it is natural to choose better abilities. Moreover, the fusion template is not just for playing games, it can only use a few fixed skills. As a dark sorcerer who enjoys studying spells, Fang Yu feels that he can fully utilize his own abilities to extend and enhance the power of the template itself and develop more powerful abilities. This is the true template editor. With the end of system editing, the chaotic world in front of Fang Yu also dissipated and returned to the real world once again. Fang Yu walked to the window and looked at the vast starry sky from afar. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but rise slightly, and he said softly, "How could this golden age be without me?" Words are calm, but they contain madness that makes the world tremble. After finishing speaking, Fang Yu closed his eyes and slowly said, "Integrate the Blood World Martial King template. P.S. Seeking collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes." Chapter 5. Breaking Through the Morning Star Stage, Xian Jun's 7 Chapters of Secret Scriptures. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, template fusion begins. Accompanied by the cold mechanical sound of the system echoing, massive power began to pour into Fang Yu's body. Kaka kaka. Accompanied by the template transformation, countless mysterious light dots flooded into Fang Yu's body, his muscles and bones began to ring, his flesh and skin membrane began to strengthen, and his blood surged, strengthening every inch of flesh and blood. Hiss. The massive blood began to spread, as if it had turned into a bloody mist, quickly enveloping the entire room like a cocoon, faintly able to hear the beating of the heart in the oscillating void. Although the blood mist spread, there was no escape. In the thick blood, one black eye after another slowly opened, cold and merciless. As if a terrifying demon god in hell is reviving. No one knows what terrifying transformation has occurred in this ordinary room at the same time. A large amount of knowledge also came to Fang Yu's mind. Whether it's martial arts knowledge, dark spells, or sacrificial rituals, the power of the abyss, a large amount of knowledge emerges and integrates into the mind, quickly mastering it. The fusion of many forces not only did not exclude each other, but also turned into a terrifying taboo force, which was quickly mastered by Fang Yu. These powers, after merging with the template, are like Fang Yu's innate abilities, such as being used with fingers and arms, without any raw feeling. After a few minutes, Fang Yu slowly opened his eyes. The black spell in his eyes flickered, but quickly disappeared, leaving only deep pupils like black holes, staring at the world indifferently. Suddenly, Fang Yu frowned. Hoo. As if a strong wind had swept up, a large amount of blood mist began to gather, and one of the blood-colored eyes also began to close, quickly sinking into Fang Yu's body. The room has once again returned to tranquility. What a powerful force. Fang Yu felt the powerful force within his body, with a slight smile on his lips. He clenched his fist lightly, and the bones made a click sound, causing the sound waves to gently shake the window glass, emitting a buzzing vibration as if they were about to shatter at any moment. In the heart, the deep red eye quietly resides in the center, slowly devouring the growth of blood with each beat. Although there is no consciousness, it is Fang Yu's most loyal servant, devouring all enemies for him. Fang Yu felt the immense power within his body. With just a gentle punch, the entire house, or even the entire building, could turn into ruins. This is truly stepping into extraordinary power. Host. Fang Yu, First Template. Blood World King Wu, 3-star level, ability. Blood and Meat Martial Arts, King of Blood and Meat, Blood Realm. Integration progress. 30%. Fang Yu glanced at the system panel and walked straight to the window, looking at the phantom reflected on the glass. A brand new self. His height has risen from 1.76 meters to 1.8 meters, and his face has become increasingly handsome, like a legendary divine descended from the mortal world. His gaze is deep, like vast stars, and even contains a special charm. If described in game terms, it is Charm Max. You can directly start some special side storylines that are prone to kidney deficiency. Fang Yu knows the source of this charm, which is the desire of all life for evolution. The flesh and blood martial arts of the blood and meat demon are not so much an evil ability to manipulate flesh and blood, but rather a mistaken evolution. A twisted evolution influenced by the power of evil gods. After all, humans cannot withstand the immense power of evil gods, even a single bit of power can make people completely insane. The blood and flesh rule martial arts were supposed to be the best combination, but after incorrect evolution, the body of the blood and flesh demon underwent too many mutations, and most martial arts underwent mutations. After all, the flesh and blood demon is no longer considered a pure human. What about growing 18 arms holding weapons, allowing bones to move and prevent opponents from targeting, or growing 4 heads looking in all directions, and so on? In addition, the blood and meat demon is tirelessly killing and becoming stronger, and in the end, it cannot be contained at all. With a large number of blood and meat sacrifices, it broke through the world's limitations, which is the true reason for the collapse of the martial arts world. After all, the blood and flesh demon is completely using the unparalleled hang to engage in large-scale lawn mowing. However, the side effect is that it is easy to lose rationality. However, with the power of the system, Fang Yu fused several templates and completely eliminated the shortcomings of the blood and meat demon, leaving behind an almost perfect template called the Blood World Martial King. Not only did he inherit the martial arts, but he also mastered the ultimate mastery of his body. As for the ability to manipulate blood and the like, it is just a very rough usage method of the flesh and blood rule. What is the true way to open up the protagonist's standard adrenaline burst, concentrate blood to enhance power, strengthen the 5 organs and 6 organs, each cell is a god, and so on? The true use of flesh and blood power is always to evolve oneself. Evolve into a perfect flesh and blood life. The existence of this ability has enabled Fang Yu to master the ability of evolution of flesh and blood creatures. Even if it's just a trace, it represents infinite possibilities. Just this ability alone is enough to make Fang Yu dominate in this new golden age, not to mention the existence of a system, enough to become one of the chess players in this new era. If divided by rank, I should have entered the first extraordinary life transformation, the Morning Star stage. Fang Yu said thoughtfully. The extraordinary levels in this world are roughly divided into extraordinary 1.9 levels, and further up is the Morning Star level, which is as powerful as a vast star. It is the first transformation of life and can obtain a lifespan of more than 300 years. Morning Star stage, no matter where it is, has already entered the threshold of strength. In his past life, he spent a full 3 years, his soul almost being devoured by eternal darkness several times, overdrawn a large amount of lifespan, and killed several powerful demons in hell, only to barely obtain this level of power. However, in this lifetime, just by integrating the first template has such powerful power. Up the Morning Star stage, there is the Shining Moon stage, which can last for 1,000 years. At this level, it is enough to become a hegemon in the Federation, with countless people bowing down and paying homage. And above the Shining Moon, there is a more powerful existence, but it is already known as the Eternal Giant, controlling the fate of countless creatures, towering above. In the past, Fang Yu may have been in awe, but now all he has is calmness and excitement. Just the initial fusion of the first template has already entered the Morning Star stage, so when it is fully integrated, perhaps it will touch the threshold of the Radiant Moon Overlord. In addition, with the system, he can also integrate the second, third, and even evil god level templates to obtain true divine and demon power. After all, above those giants, there are even more terrifying beings, true taboo powerhouses. Eternal immortality is the scenery he yearns for. These are still a bit far from me. My current goal is to solve these little shrimp first. Fang Yu spoke calmly, with spells flickering in his pupils. The power of darkness and blood mist intertwined, transforming into a faceless mask with black and gold patterns. Strange yet noble. Although he doesn't mind revealing his identity, he still needs a vest to carry the blame and attract firepower for the next few major tasks. And his actual identity, preferably to become a big shot in the other camps. After all, if you want to be a big boss behind the scenes, how can you start with the label of villain? Fang Yu looked up at the pitch-black night sky obscured by dark clouds and slowly said. The main content recorded in the previous life's magic scriptures is the Xianjun 7-chapter secret scripture, which includes the demon slaying and ghost detaining technique. Although most of it is missing, it has also helped me gain the power of revenge, which is a turning point in my life. Since this life needs to be laid out to deal with the next few major disasters, let's first become the dark giant of this extraordinary world. In this way, I will. Xianjun. As the words fell, endless darkness surged, devouring Fang Yu's figure. P.S. New book seedlings seeking support. Seeking collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Chapter 6. Bloody Corpse Demon, Dark King. Seeking. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Night falls, devouring the bright moon. The brilliance of the stars dimmed, and the city fell into silence. The pedestrians on the road became sparse, with only a few of them hastily preparing to go home. Although there are defensive rituals in human cities, everything is not absolute. After all, night is the most active time for monsters, and there may be some special monsters lured by the smell of flesh and blood, infiltrating the city to slaughter humans. This is not sensationalism, but bloody lessons one by one. On a remote street in the northern district of Hangzhou, where the city's defense system is weakest, dozens of mysterious people wearing black robes have appeared. Each black robe is embroidered with a blood-colored snake pattern, while the leading black-robed person is embroidered with a golden snake pattern. They walked slowly in the shadows, and wherever they went, all the monitoring equipment was damaged, flashing with a crackling arc. In front of these black-robed people, a freight truck appeared, with a black curtain covering the back of the truck, slowly stopping in front of the black-robed people. The black-robed man, led by him, looked at the crack in front of him and slowly spoke. "You're late." The voice is old, but it carries an undeniable flavor. Click. Accompanied by a burst of unpleasant laughter, an old man with a hooked nose opened the passenger door and walked down with a cane, saying, "I'm sorry, but in order for this batch of goods to arrive safely, I had to put in a lot of effort to distract those crazy dogs from the special department." His body was hunched and his face was covered in old age spots, but every step he took was extremely steady, as if it contained a heavy force. It seems that seeing only the old man and the other black-robed people looking at each other, their eyes gradually became dangerous. Killing people and stealing goods is a common occurrence for these dark forces. And the old man seemed completely unaware of these dangerous gazes, just smiled and said, "You, the Snake Society, are a famous extraordinary force in Hangzhou. You probably won't argue with an old man like me, cough cough cough." As he spoke, the old man suddenly coughed. What he didn't notice was that a black-robed man holding a dagger suddenly appeared in the shadow behind him. He jumped up and the dagger in his hand flickered with cold light, suddenly stabbing back. Success! A glimmer of pride flashed in the attacker's eyes, but in the next moment it turned into panic. A pale giant hand emerged from the darkness and tightly grasped it, causing the bones on his body to make a click sound. He let out a wail of pain, and the black robe on his head fell to the ground. Ah ah ah. In this painful howl, the owner of the pale giant hand gradually revealed his figure, which turned out to be a monster 2 meters tall, resembling a human. His skin was pale and blue, and his face was as fierce as a demon. Copper Bell's big eyes stared fixedly at the crowd of the disaster snake meeting, emitting piercing laughter. The ghostly figure of the half-step Morning Star stage has indeed left a hand behind. The leader of the evil Snake Society frowned, but did not go to save anyone, just a little angry. If the exploration fails, there will naturally be a price to pay. The raider seemed to have noticed the leader's indifference and shouted in panic, "Help me!" Before he could finish speaking, his head was twisted and his eyes widened, unable to believe that he had just died. Cluck cluck. Accompanied by eerie laughter, the pale monster opened its mouth, revealing its sharp fangs. It bit off the head of the black-robed man in one bite and then tore it apart, splattering blood. The scene was extremely bloody. But this monster closed its eyes and chewed slowly, as if enjoying the deliciousness of the human world. This scene frightened the members of the evil snake society, making them cold all over and unable to resist taking a step back. The old man, on the other hand, leaned on his crutches as if he couldn't hear any screams, and said with a smile. "Just arrived and brought food to my little one. Yo, he's still an extraordinary third level. You humans are really passionate." Although smiling, I couldn't hear any hint of laughter. The leader of the evil snake society heard the mockery from the other party and sneered. "Wei Dong, you're not a human-like person. You're just transforming into a ghostly clan through your master's ceremony when you're about to die of old age." "That's right." Wei Dong's mouth curved upwards, not only devoid of any anger, but also burst out laughing, saying, "I have rid myself of my frail human body and transformed into a noble corpse demon priest, gaining a long life and powerful power. I serve the great His Highness, waiting for his arrival in the world, and we will have everything. Hee hee. The leader of the evil snake society is too lazy to pay attention to this kind of person who believes in evil gods. Especially after being contaminated by the aura of evil gods, even if one gains strength and lifespan, they are just a group of lunatics. It's impossible to reason with a lunatic. His purpose is just for that thing. The leader of the snake society looked at the black screen on the truck, with a hint of greed in his eyes. It was a secret that could help him advance to the Morning Star or even higher levels. Once entering the Morning Star stage, the evil snake society can become one of the top forces in Hangzhou. The Morning Star stage is truly extraordinary. Of course. Wei Dong smiled faintly and said with a sinister smile, "But the trading conditions need to be changed. I want 500 living people. Are you crazy?" The leader of the evil snake society squinted his eyes, suppressing his angry emotions, and said in a deep voice. 500 living people, do you want to be pursued to death by special forces? Or do you want to provoke the authority of the Federation? This is not because he has a conscience, nor is it because the human race is being traded as a commodity and angry. But if he goes to the city to kidnap 500 living people because it is not during natural disasters or chaos, he will definitely be discovered by the special department, and his evil snakes will be targeted. If it really provokes the strong members of the Special Science Headquarters, the so-called disaster snake will just be a small ant that can be easily crushed to death. Even if the leader of the Snake Society is greedy, he wouldn't do such a foolish thing. It's better to just kill people and steal goods. It seemed that Wei Dong saw the resolute attitude of the leader of the Snake Society, but he smiled without any concern. After all, when it comes to quotations, they all start with a big mouth and then slowly explore the bottom line. After all, the other party clearly couldn't refuse this batch of goods, so he roughly understood their limits and slowly said. "Ha ha ha, I'm just joking. You're in a hurry. Since that's the case, I only need 1,000 human corpses. Don't tell me you can't do it." 1,000 human corpses, combined with secret magic assistance, may be able to elevate his ghost to become a demon in the Morning Star stage. The leader of the Snake Society fell into contemplation, but did not rush to refute. Corpses are different from living people, as there is a lot of room for operation inside. After all, within the forces under the jurisdiction of the Evil Snake Club, there are hospitals and crematoriums. Evil snakes lack everything, but they don't lack corpses. What if he could further enhance his strength and sacrifice some ordinary humans? But as he was about to bargain, a voice suddenly sounded. "Do you want to no longer add 40 supernatural corpses and 1 living creature close to the Morning Star stage?" "What person?" The leader of the Evil Snake Society was startled and suddenly turned his head. The others also looked in the direction of the sound and saw a figure wearing a black robe and a black gold face mask slowly approaching. Hiss, hiss. Endless shadows churn, one by one blood-colored one-eyed crows hovering in the air, stopping on street lamps and eaves, eerie and mysterious. From afar, it looks like a sea of blood. However, these terrifying blood crows hung their heads and respectfully surrounded the mysterious figure, as if paying homage to the Dark King. P.S. New book seedlings seeking support. Seeking collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Chapter 7. The Bloody Shadow Spreading Fear. Seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Amidst endless blood crows, the mysterious black and gold masked man calmly gazed at the crowd, his gaze indifferent, as if the supreme deity was overlooking ignorant mortals. Even if he doesn't take any action, just standing still feels like he has become the center of the world, and everything will be under his control. The one-eyed of the hundreds of blood crows stared at everyone in the evil snake society, their eyes greedy, as if they were looking at prey. And this person is naturally Fang Yu. With memories from his past life, he easily found the trading venue and once again witnessed both trading. In his past life, he accidentally came to this remote street and witnessed this dark transaction. However, as he quietly left, a hidden snake club minion discovered him and prepared to silence him. Although Fang Yu used traps to counter-kill him and successfully escaped, how could he resist a massive extraordinary force? His murder was soon discovered, and the house left by his parents was burned down, turning everything into ashes in the fire. On that day, Fang Yu's heart completely felt despair. In order to survive the pursuit of the evil snake, he went deep into the wilderness alone, willing to sell his soul to eternal darkness, and became one of the craziest dark sorcerers. The most dangerous profession in the extraordinary world, and also the most evil existence. Although he gained strength, the leader of the Snake Society at that time also had a mysterious opportunity to become a high-level powerhouse of the Morning Star, towering above. This is also the reason why Fang Wen held an evil god ceremony, just to exchange power and seek complete revenge. But now, he looked at his former enemies who were still in a weak stage. Fang Yu thought he would be proud, but he no longer had the emotions of hatred, anger, unwillingness, and so on that he had before, but what we have now is just indifference. It's indifference towards ants. However, he wanted this ant to also taste it, trembling in the face of absolute power and feeling hopeless. While Fang Yu was pondering, Wei Dong squinted his eyes and a ghostly figure behind him approached, while the leader of the evil Snake Society spoke up and asked. "Who the hell are you? What is your purpose?" Although his words were calm, they carried a murderous intent. You should know that his transactions violated the laws of the supernatural. And the mysterious person in front of him clearly knew the content of the transaction. Once these things were discovered by the special department, he would be pursued by the federal government and lose everything he currently has. Is it difficult to extort him with this? Thinking of this, the killing intent in the eyes of the leader of the evil Snake Society became increasingly intense. The only thing that restrained him was that he was not clear about the opponent's background and strength, so he temporarily lay dormant. Like a venomous snake, waiting for the chance of a fatal blow. Interesting. Fang Yu looked at the extremely vigilant leader of the Snake Society, and a hint of playfulness flashed in his eyes. The once unbeatable powerhouse in his eyes must now be so cautious. It's really fun. However, it could have made him even more afraid thinking of this. Fang Yu did not have a powerful leader in the Snake Society, but looked at Wei Dong, who had been called the Bloody Corpse Demon, and slowly said. 50 corpses of extraordinary beings, plus a living creature close to the Morning Star stage, how about exchanging the batch of goods behind you? The magnetic voice carried a hint of seduction, causing Wei Dong to hesitate. After all, trading with anyone is the same. 1,000 human corpses only give his ghost a slight chance to advance to the Morning Star, but if it's a superhero's corpse or a living creature close to the Morning Star, then he has a 90% chance of success. Once he steps into the Morning Star, he can even continue to communicate with the Great Prince, gain stronger power, and even have the opportunity to become a hegemonic existence. How could this make him not tempted? The leader of the evil snake society on the side was ignored and already held back a breath. At this moment, he saw Wei Dong's thoughts and couldn't help but speak up. Wei Dong, don't forget that this batch of living creatures was traded with me. Cluck cluck. Wei Dong frowned and a smile appeared on his ugly face. He said leisurely, yes, but we haven't reached a deal yet, have we? Damn it, this old thing wants to sit on the ground and raise the price. The leader of the Snake Society cursed inwardly. Although he was angry in his heart, he looked at the mysterious masked man surrounded by hundreds of blood crows and felt extremely fearful. If he is really intercepted by the other party, then his path to the morning star will be endless. Obstructing the path of others is like killing parents. The leader of the Snake Society looked at Fang Yu and couldn't help but speak. This is what I need. If you are willing to cede it, you will gain the friendship between me and the evil Snake Society. Although it was a tone of discussion, it implied a hint of threat. The leader of the evil Snake Society has already observed that these blood crows may seem terrifying, but the aura they sense is not strong, they should only be supernatural level monsters. The other party is likely just a weak animal trainer who wants to disguise himself as a strong one to intercept this batch of goods. Although he didn't want to offend a mysterious animal trainer, he didn't mind killing him in the face of the temptation of power. However, facing the threatening words, Fang Yu remained calm, looking at Wei Dong and continuing to say. 50 extraordinary corpses, plus 2 living creatures close to the morning star, don't you think this is better? The seductive power in the words grew stronger and stronger, as if a demon was inducing mortals to fall step by step. What? Wei Dong widened his eyes, his already withered heart couldn't help but beat. If it were 2 living creatures close to the morning star, then the ghost would almost certainly advance, even further. Under such temptation, Wei Dong quickly made a decision and spoke. I agree. Wait. Before he could finish speaking, the leader of the evil Snake Society interrupted him, and his expression had become extremely gloomy, as if he could drip water. Although he is not the strongest in Hangzhou, the evil Snake Society is only second to the top forces, with a large number of extraordinary beings under his command. Even the captain of the special department should be polite to him. What a humiliation it is for the animal trainer in front of me to dare to ignore him twice in a row and even take his belongings. Thinking of this, the leader of the evil Snake Society's murderous intent boiled in his eyes, his gaze fixed on Fang Yu, and he coldly said. Words have no basis, how can you prove that you can come up with it? Since this mysterious person wants to die, why not just send the other person on the road and have a black meal? A large number of members of the evil Snake Society stared fixedly at Fang Yu, without any concealment of their massive malice. Wei Dong on the side also reacted and looked at Fang Wen, waiting for him to take out the traded items. Faced with these dangerous gazes, Fang Yu raised his lips slightly and reached out to snap his fingers. Pop! Suddenly, the one-eyed blood crow became violent, flapping its wings and flying, transforming into bloodshot shadows that shuttle back and forth, instantly tearing apart the bodies of members of the evil Snake Society. The so-called extraordinary body is easily pierced by the blood crow, depriving it of vitality. Sting! In an instant, blood filled the air, like the reaper raising his sickle and slaughtering all spirits. All the extraordinary beings of the evil Snake Society, without any chance of resistance, were killed in the blink of an eye and turned into corpses on the ground. If you count it, you will find that there are exactly 50 people. And Fang Yu looked at the frightened leader of the Snake Society and said leisurely. Isn't that right? P.S. Seeking collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Chapter 8. The Almighty God, who extinguishes all things. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The words fell, but what came was a dead silence. The leader of the Snake Society looked at the fallen body, and his heart was already cold. Morning Star. Surprisingly, there was a move from the Morning Star stage. Why do these strong people appear here? Is it a mysterious and extraordinary organization? Or is it a hidden powerhouse in this city? The leader of the Snake Society was in a state of confusion in his mind. Looking at the indifferent mysterious person, his gaze was like that of a rebellious ant. Cold and ruthless. Stay here and you will definitely die. At this thought, the leader of the evil Snake Society made a decisive decision and shouted angrily. Spell, Evil Snake Manifestation. The spiritual power on his body surged and merged into eerie spells, instantly merging into a 10-meter-long black python. He opened his bloodthirsty mouth, his terrifying fangs flashing cold, and suddenly pounced, biting towards Fang Yu. Wherever you go, the ground shatters and rubble dances in the air. If bitten by it, even a small mountain will be torn apart into debris, let alone flesh and blood. Boom! Before the terrifying black snake could approach Fang Yu, it was knocked down by dozens of blood crows and fiercely smashed into the ground. Its sharp claws instantly pierced through it, shattering the spell inside. So strong. Watching from the side, Wei Dong's pupils suddenly shrank. Even if he encountered the evil snake condensed by this spell, he could not defeat it so easily. However, Fang Yu had not yet taken action, and only those blood crows had such strength. Who exactly is this mysterious person? However, upon seeing this scene, the leader of the Snake Society was not disappointed, but instead a hint of pride flashed in his eyes and he shouted loudly. Explosion! As the words fell, the damaged snake exploded in an instant, transforming into a black mist and spreading. Wherever it went, both creatures and stones were corroded. The mist spread rapidly, instantly enveloping both Blood Crow and Fang Yu, emitting a corroding sound. The leader of the evil Snake Society couldn't help but laugh when he saw the successful plan. Ha ha ha, idiot, the spell of the black evil snake is a highly poisonous substance that I extracted from the true black evil snake. Even the Morning Star stage can be poisoned to death, ha ha ha. Unexpectedly, he killed back. Wei Dong also witnessed this scene and was extremely wary of the leader of the evil Snake Society. His originally surging thoughts also calmed down. This guy is really cunning, he's just a venomous snake. It seems we can only trade with him. Excited by the leader of the Snake Society, he also began to consider how many treasures this mysterious morning star would have. Today is really my harvest day. However, before he could be proud for long, a calm voice came from within the black mist. The inferior imitation of the sorcerer's methods, these rough spells, and this playful and broken poison mist really embarrassed the sorcerer. As the words fell, the originally spreading black toxic mist suddenly began to gather and form a vortex. In the blink of an eye, it condensed into a black gaseous sphere, which Fang Yu held in his hand. As the poisonous mist dissipated, scenes were revealed, making the leader of the evil Snake Society's eyes crack with disbelief as he shouted. How could it be? In his eyes, not only was Fang Yu unscathed, but the hundreds of one-eyed blood crows also had no influence, greedily overlooking the leader of the evil Snake Society. One-eyed crows turned one by one, as if mocking the other's foolishness. The cultivation system of this world is mainly based on observation ideas and spiritual cultivation methods. According to different observation ideas, it tends to strengthen oneself as a warrior, a mage who manipulates elements, or a sorcerer, alchemist, priest, and so on who seeks truth. Therefore, it is divided into many schools of thought. Although there are different divisions, it is still essentially a spiritual power cultivation system, with different names and emphasis on mastering power. In theory, if a person has enough energy and talent, they can even pursue 2 or even more paths simultaneously. But basically no one can do it, because it also involves deeper secrets. However, this is a good thing for Fang Yu, who has a template editor. If we could gather all the templates and integrate and upgrade them, it would be equivalent to all-knowing and all-powerful. Among the sorcerers, there are also subdivisions, such as bloodline sorcerers, light sorcerers, spell warriors, etc., and the dark sorcerers are among the top beings. The basic operations of dark sorcerers include adding 5 poisons, transplanting demon bodies, and stealing the power of evil gods. However, when you gaze into the abyss is also gazing at you. The Dark Warlock is therefore the most dangerous and powerful path for sorcerers. As a dark sorcerer who stepped into the hegemonic stage with half a foot, Fang Yu mastered a large number of spells, curses, spells, as well as a large number of dark spells, and even created several types of dark spells himself. The leader of the Evil Snake Society is not a pure sorcerer system, so the half-hearted explosive poison spell mastered by the opponent is completely like a play of a family. At first glance, there are all flaws. The reason why Fang Yu didn't stop was just to let the leader of the Evil Snake Club experience the feeling of a roller coaster, so that he could completely shatter the hope in the moment he felt it. This may be due to the evil taste of dark sorcerers. On the other hand, although the leader of the Evil Snake Society didn't know why he would provoke such a terrifying powerhouse, his desire to survive made him make a decision and turned around to run wildly. Run. As long as you can survive, there is hope. Fang Yu's gaze was indifferent and he did not chase, but instead looked at the poisonous mist in his hand. Hiss. With a thought, a large number of mysterious spells appeared, quickly assimilating and transforming them. At the same time, the black ball began to wriggle, as if some terrifying creature was about to hatch out of it. Fang Yu looked at this scene and said calmly, "Let you see what a true sorcerer is, curse. The snake of the end. The world is shattered for the end. Kaka kaka." The black ball instantly tore apart and transformed into a black terrifying hydra, covered in black scales and blood-purple patterns, with wings and a blood-colored mist wrapped around its body, like a demon crawling out of an abyss. Bringing destruction and an end to the world. This is one of the dark spells built by Fang Yu before his rebirth. Although it is not yet completed, it is also a spell close to the forbidden level. Just the birth of the prototype, its power is several times stronger than the original black snake. Hiss. Its gaze was cold, and it instantly locked onto the fleeing leader of the Evil Snake Society. Its body suddenly burst out, transforming into a black lightning bolt that pierced through the void and directly bit the leader's right arm, gently pulling. Click. Ah 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 ah. The arms were torn, blood splattered, and the leader of the Evil Snake Society howled and fell to the ground. His spiritual power surged to resist, but he was easily corroded by the venom. His flesh and blood quickly turned black and rotten, as if entering the end. However, the ending snake showed no mercy, and a poisonous mist hung down from its body, constantly dissolving the opponent's flesh and spiritual power. Like a demon god who destroys the world, silence all things. Let me go. Please let me go. I am willing to be your dog. The Snake Society. I can give you everything I have. My wife is very beautiful. I also give you. Ah 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 ah. It hurts so much. The leader of the Evil Snake Society howled in pain, kneeling for the mercy of Fang Yu. He is afraid of death, he longs to live, even if the cost is to become a servant. It's really ugly. Fang Yu walked slowly over, watching his former enemy plead and sigh. But I was tempted by what you said. Upon hearing these words, the leader of the Evil Snake Society was like a drowning person grabbing a life-saving straw, painfully dragging his broken body, half corroded by the poisonous mist, and frantically pleading. Leave me alone. I can do many things. Lord. Lord. The leader of the Snake Society has understood that the one in front of him is a sorcerer, perhaps even the most terrifying dark sorcerer among sorcerers, an immortal who seems to have lived for hundreds of years. Surrender to an ancient powerhouse, he doesn't feel ashamed, but rather an opportunity. As for why you think so, it is because sorcerers require a lot of knowledge accumulation, and powerful sorcerers often go through a long period of sedimentation. As for the existence of bugs like magic scriptures that can trade power with evil gods, it is completely a treasure, comparable to the existence of top-level world secrets, and it is completely beyond his reach. Not to mention the golden finger of the template editor, who edited the perfect top-level template for Fang Yu, the Blood World Martial King. Therefore, the leader of the evil snake society had no idea that the mysterious person in front of him was just a young man under 20 years old. However, he is not really surrendering, he just wants to gain stronger power through this opportunity. He believed that as long as he could survive, he might find a way to confront the mysterious existence in front of him and plunder everything from him. Like a venomous snake lurking, waiting for a chance to kill with one strike. Only those who survive have a future. The leader of the snake society hid these dark thoughts along with his hatred and began to plead bitterly. Upon hearing this, Fang Yu seemed to be moved and whispered. "Very good, since that's the case, then I'll." "Thank you, Master." "Thank you." In the hopeful gaze of the leader of the snake society, Fang Yu's voice fell completely. "Let's take you on your way." Boom. The ending snake opened its bloodthirsty mouth and devoured it completely. PS, adding updates, the data is too poor, please support and bookmark. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. Please see. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The data is a bit dismal, a bit panicked. This is a new niche theme, and I don't know if there are many people watching it. My friends say they don't like this genre, and the collection is also limited, which makes me very uneasy. But I still want to give it a try, write an interesting story, and beg for the support of all readers. If anyone says anything, just give them a thumbs up, throw some flowers, and vote. As long as there are more than 5 people who vote for flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation tickets, I will work hard to write more and achieve even more success. Begging for flowers. Looking for a monthly pass. Seeking evaluation votes. Please comment. Seeking support. Seeking support. Seeking support. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. The Great Being Returning from Time. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. The huge snake of the end swallowed it, and a terrifying mist spread. The snake's body emitted a hissing sound, quickly melting the body of the leader of the evil snake society. The mournful howls echoed on the remote streets, making people shiver. Even the corpse demon Wei Dong on the side did not expect that Fang Yu would just turn his back. And he could see that although the other party could directly kill the leader of the evil snake society, they chose the most cruel method and let him slowly die in pain. This is simply torture. The person in front of me may not necessarily be the strongest, but he is definitely a dark sorcerer with a dark mind. Thinking of the rumored methods of those sorcerers, even crazy people like Wei Dong feel a chill in their spine. But Fang Yu looked at everything with indifferent eyes, feeling a little emotional in his heart. The resentment that had accumulated for years completely dissipated at this moment, and his mood was clear. The leader of the evil snake society was just pinched to death by him. The mountain that once made him despair is now easily crushed. Suddenly like a dream, yet incredibly real. And the root of this success and perfection lies in powerful power. He is strong enough to dominate everything. Therefore, it was him seeking revenge, rather than being chased and fleeing in embarrassment. And the template editor is his key to the eternal throne. So in order to not become a mole ant that others can easily crush like the leader of the snake society, he must become stronger. Snicker. Under Fang Yu's deliberate control, the leader of the evil snake society was eroded by the poisonous mist for 3 minutes before turning into a puddle of pus. It was digested by the terminating snake, and the toxin spread throughout his body became increasingly powerful. Fang Yu looked at the poisonous water on the ground and reached out his hand to grasp it in the void. His movements were elegant, as if he were an ancient dark aristocrat. Hoo hoo hoo. The wind rose from the flat bottom, and in an instant, the grey airflow condensed. A blurry grey figure was held in his hand, emitting a lot of negative emotions such as fear and resentment, but it was easily suppressed. And this, of course, is the soul of the leader of the evil snake society. As a dark sorcerer, I naturally have extremely high attainments in the soul. However, this time Fang Yu was not trying to torture the other party. After all, torturing the ants did not excite him, but it could be a waste. Soul, in the abyss, is a hard currency. Especially for souls that are close to the morning star stage, they are equivalent to the souls of hundreds of ordinary people. It happens to be ready for waste utilization. Fang Yu naturally had no interest in continuing to torment an ant, and he already had a better way to deal with it in his heart. But before that, there is one more thing to do. System, extract template. As Fang Yu silently recited in his heart, an eternal white light descended upon him, directly passing through the soul of the leader of the evil snake society. He extracted a template of a twisted human shadow group and placed it in the system space. Although this guy is a bit weak, but even the smallest mosquito is still flesh, maybe it can merge into a powerful template. Fang Yu was not in a hurry to check what was inside, but instead looked at Wei Dong, who was nervous on the side. This powerful, corpse demon, famous in the dark world and feared by people, couldn't help but tremble at the moment when Fang Yu was staring at him. He felt the mysterious masked figure in front of him begin to twist, as if it had become a terrifying abyss mouth. He will be dragged into the endless abyss of eternity at any time. Will die, definitely dead. Endless fear gnawed on him like a venomous snake, causing Wei Dong to quickly speak up and flatter him, saying, "Mysterious Your Highness, I am willing to offer everything I have in exchange for my life. These things are all yours." As Wei Dong spoke, he respectfully lowered his head, concealing the fear on his face. The previous greed had completely dissipated. Don't look at him as crazy on the surface, in fact, he is more afraid of death than anyone else, afraid of losing the power and strength he possesses. Therefore, in order to gain a long life, he willingly sacrificed his wife, son, and even ate all his blood relatives, successfully transforming into a corpse demon sacrifice. To just live. His faith stems from selfishness. Fang Yu naturally felt this emotion, his mouth slightly raised, and slowly said, "Unfortunately, the contract has been reached. 2 corpses that are close to the morning star, you still need 1 more." In the moment when the words fell, Wei Dong lifted his head, his eyes bloodshot, and he completely understood that the guy in front of him would not let go of him. He stared at Fang Yu with a fierce expression and said crazily, "It's not that easy to kill me." Wei Dong's lean body suddenly swelled, and his originally humanoid body changed in the blink of an eye into a terrifying creature with grey skin, a human-like appearance, but resembling a head of the opposite sex and sharp claws. Hoo hoo hoo. He waved his claws that condensed spiritual power and grabbed Fang Yu's head with a strong wind, attempting to pierce it through. The ghost behind him also suddenly pounced, exerting tremendous force and crashing fiercely towards Fang Yu like an armored vehicle. The two erupted within a square inch, and even the average morning star stage could easily be hit and seriously injured by them. However, in the face of this terrifying attack, a hint of mockery flashed in Fang Yu's eyes. He did not use the terminating snake, but slowly extended a finger, slender, like flawless white jade. "Even if you are a dark sorcerer, no one can take my life." Wei Dong roared loudly, his desire to survive suppressing his fear, his spiritual power boiling, attempting to tear apart Fang Yu's body. He doesn't believe that he can't even resist a single finger. However, at the moment of contact, Wei Dong's face changed and he roared in disbelief. How could it be? At the moment of contact between the two, Fang Yu's fingers seemed to have turned into invincible divine weapons, carrying the power to crush everything, instantly crushing Wei Dong's proud claws. Kaka kaka. Accompanied by a series of broken sounds, Wei Dong's right arm twisted and his bones broke inch by inch. The huge pain made his face look grim, and he was shaken out by the force of the countershock at this moment. He felt that he was not in contact with a mysterious sorcerer, but with an immortal ancient mountain. And the other corpse ghost was originally a beast-dominated creature. Although its owner was defeated, it further stimulated its bloodthirsty desire and attacked Fang Yu. What a crude work that only knows how to feed on flesh and blood without strengthening resentment, completely losing its wildness. Fang Yu looked at the brutal ghost, whose body was slightly on one side, and escaped from the sharp claws carrying a lot of germs. His posture was elegant, like walking in the clouds, and easily escaped the attack of the ghost-like storms. In the eyes of Fang Yu, who integrated the template of the Blood World martial king and the experience of a martial arts master who broke through limits, the so-called fierce attack and killing by the ghostly ghost was completely like a child playing house. All actions are flaws. I've almost had enough fun. Fang Yu familiarized himself with his new strength and felt almost tired. He stopped in place, looked at the rushing ghostly creature, and reached out his finger to flick it on the opponent's forehead. Boom! Accompanied by a violent sonic boom, a terrifying force erupted at the fingertips, transforming into a nearly substantial hurricane sweeping through. Wind blades cut through flesh and blood one by one, instantly destroying the body of the ghost and turning it into remnants on the ground. The power of the broken empty finger is really good. Fang Yu sighed in his heart about the power of his martial arts skills, and then slowly walked towards the corpse demon Wei Dong. Watching his only hope shattered into debris by a single finger, Wei Dong was completely desperate and couldn't help but howl. Let me go. I am a great follower under the crown. If you kill me, he will not let you go. Upon hearing this, Fang Yu said calmly, just a low-level corpse demon priest, not even a relative. Do you think Mordikian will care about you? And even if your master crosses the boundary, I will chop off his claws. This is not Fang Yu's arrogance, but as a dark sorcerer with a magic code, he has been pulling the wool of the evil god not once or twice. He is the biggest blasphemer. After all, most evil gods cannot directly descend into the main world. Moreover, they will not pay attention to the behavior of some little ants. As for Mordikian, the god of ghouls, he is also an old acquaintance of Fang Yu, and he is not polite when picking up wool. You. Wei Dong widened his eyes, and before he could speak, a blood-colored crow pierced through his heart. In the last moment of the passing of vitality, Wei Dong looked at the mysterious figure in a black robe, blending with darkness, as if it were the eternal great existence that ruled everything. Even the evil gods they believe in are so indifferent, even disdainful. He couldn't help but think of a possibility: is it that ancient taboos have returned from the depths of time? P.S. Seeking collection. Please subscribe. Looking for a monthly pass. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes.